So this week it was back to normal work. We are getting a mobile, ridiculously rich van. So then we headed to Llandudno to catch up with Neil, the manager.
One thing I've noticed, by the way, while it's in my head on the cakes, I think I've made a note of it, they're melting in the window.
Okay, oh, we might need to get you an awning then. They're like £3.5 grand. I'm so cross. This week we are going to sign on a lease for the next place. This week we spent a lot more time on the road, but for good reason. We have signed a new lease, so we went to check out our new place. More on that later. So before we went there, and spoiler alert, it's north, we decided to take a little trip along the coast and check out some other places. The first place we decided to stop off at was Barmouth. This really takes me back to my childhood. I'm just trying to keep an eye out for like places that are available. So Barmouth is actually where my dad grew up, and so I decided to FaceTime him while I was there to get a tour. And essentially we had him on FaceTime whilst Park was driving, giving us some sort of guided tour bus experience, all from the comfort of our own car.
You know, because like you're literally going to be mothballed through the wind. So that's the yacht club that you've gone past, and then the harbour master's office.
Oh my god, the beach is so beautiful here. We've just been to Barmouth, so I spent quite a lot of time here when I was younger, and it was actually more amazing there than I remember. The beach is absolutely beautiful. So it wasn't some like in-depth, let's go out and check this place out. We essentially just drove through. We drove around twice and got blocked in at one point for a train that was coming through. So there's nothing set in stone, we don't have a site or anything like that, but it was good to just go and check it out. Hey Stace, I have just called Barmouth, Gwynedd Council about Barmouth. They actually haven't got a landline that they're able to, or a direct line that they're able to give us for their estates team, but she did give me an email address. If I send you a picture of it, would you be able to drop them an email with our like proposal and a bit of info about who we are? So then we got back in the car and we continued our journey north. This time we went to Abersoch. So this is like a really cute seaside town. I actually haven't been before, and we actually had a viewing booked to go and see this. Basically, it's called The Shack, and it essentially was a shack. Yeah. Hello.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. You okay? The town is awesome, and I feel like we could bring something really exciting and new to the town, but a town that's already very popular. There was also one major flaw with the place, and that's that the mains water wasn't actually connected, so there's no water in the building. So before you'd be able to do anything, you'd have like a long-winded conversation and process of actually getting the water connected, which I'm sure would just be a huge headache. So there's no water in here, is there?
No, there's no water, but when we first had the shop, we asked about water. It's literally there.
Okay.
To connect it up then was £1,000, but that was 5 years ago.
Okay. I mean, we're all in love with it. We're in love with the destination, but I'm just not sure whether we are at the right point to be able to commit enough time for that place. I mean, I feel like you could do, it would have to become you'd have to make it a destination for people.
There's people walking along, they can stop, they can grab a cocktail or some food.
You couldn't put seats on the path.
You can. It's not a footpath. Well, it is, technically. So
to take on this shack, it's obviously going to be a whole load of investment needed to get it up to standard. And so I needed to have a conversation with the guys that were looking after the lease, which I actually did whilst we were looking at a new potential bakery site. More on that in a moment. Yeah, so I took some time to have a conversation and just see where they're at and what they're looking for. So I would be interested to know what his sort of best or the best price he'd be interested in, so I can consider it. So a bit more on the bakery. So we've been fighting a little battle in there, which I haven't really touched on, and that is that in the summer the bakery just gets so hot. We've got ovens in there, and because it's an industrial unit, it's not ventilated like a normal building would be, and so we're looking to move, and we're also looking to expand the bakery, and so we were looking at a potential new site to maybe move everything over to. I'll ask him, because if that's air conditioning, that will be amazing. The only thing with this unit is obviously huge, and huge comes with a huge price tag, and I'm going to be honest and say that I am feeling pretty nervous about these risks that we're taking. I have not really been one for risk taking in business. I'm pretty sort of safe bet Sally. Basically, being able to put this plan into action means needing more room in the bakery and needing a better bakery. And so it's a huge risk, and I'm genuinely terrified.
We're not doing anything with the top floor now, are we? Yeah.
No, but if it's hot, if they don't do the ventilation, we're going to have exactly the same problem of no one being able to be up there because the cakes will just melt.
Yeah, but all the heat's going to be getting taken out of the baking area because all that's going to be undercover, so all the heat's going to be taken out of that area now.
What, and you think it would be cool enough in the height of summer? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think much heat will transfer through.
So we're obviously looking to grow the bakery and grow the cafes, and you really can't have one without the other. And so it's a huge risk, and it doesn't help that one of the cafes is not doing as well as we'd hoped, with one of the most expensive and big sites that we could find, because it looks so amazing, and that's Cardiff. And obviously in doing that, we've created a turnover that we need to hit just to break even that's so much higher than we're used to, and so we are growing everything, but also we're having to work really hard to put things in place to try and improve Cardiff and make it be the store that I know it can be. Just so big, isn't it? I think if it wasn't so vast, it would be all right, because you could have one person in there doing everything in a small space, but like when you have to have two members in there, it's like...
What? Because of the kitchen?
So, back on the road, let's leave the negatives behind, because we were on our way to the new location. It is again up in North Wales, which we are discovering more and more every day how beautiful it is in North Wales, and this time we have chosen a site in Caernarfon which we are absolutely in love with, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with it.
I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good.
This is the main space. It's actually huge. It looks bigger than it is, but we're having only a section of it. I think the previous guys had a bar along the back here, so they've got all of the stuff ready basically to key onto there already. And we'll have a big bar here. It's obviously going to be pink and pastel and very lovely and cutesy in here. In the windows, we're going to have our really nice window panels. We've got nice big windows here. There is a beautiful view behind of the harbour. And then there's all this extra space as well, which you can have a look at, which I don't know what we're going to do with, probably just storage. But there's basically all these extra rooms back here. It reminds me of like school, you know, like the ceiling and the lights and the flooring. Makes me feel like I'm back at school, but this will probably be an office. And then there's two other rooms that will just be storage. So this one here, that's the sign from the last people. It's huge. And then finally, it's like one more in here. This one smells a bit weird. So we went down there to basically spend a bit of time planning. We've done this now, we've done it twice, we've done it 3 times. So we now know a little bit more about what we've actually got to do to get it open. So it felt a little bit like deja vu, but deja vu with a little bit more knowledge. £1,325. Yeah. Cream in here, and paint the ceiling and the wires and the stuff pink.
The ceiling.
Yes. Yes.
So impractical.
That would look so
No,
good.
I'd say go cream and all the pillars can go pink. That's fine. Behind the
It's
basket.
going to be next to no pillars.
Behind the basket.
They're going to turn into a wall, so there's going to be 3 pink pillars.
Brilliant, really lovely. If you pull this up, you're looking at hundreds, if not thousands of pounds, well, no, probably thousands of pounds to put something else down.
It's a risk, isn't it?
What?
Come on.
You just wanted that to be on camera.
I didn't. No, I
Yes, you
didn't.
did.
I
He
didn't want
does.
to be on camera at
He
all.
wants to look supportive on camera.
Look, darling.
And we actually met a familiar face down there. Chris, our electrician who did Llandudno, came to basically to quote up what he thinks it's going to be to do Caernarfon. So there's a sign going there, the same sort of setup as before. Basically those bulb lights.
Journal, sign, so it's the LED.
Yeah. Like the individual bulb one that you put
Yeah.
on the outside of Llandudno. So this one, although it looks huge, it doesn't come with as much risk as Cardiff. So I've very much learnt now, Cardiff is our flagship. We're so proud of Cardiff and how it looks and how big and amazing it is. But going forward, we need to keep an eye on the finances first and foremost. So although this is a big site and it's going to cost a lot to do it up, actually the risk that is with this site is nowhere near as much as the risk that we've got with Cardiff. So as you can see, really exciting. It feels like with this series we're sort of back to square one, back to the beginning, ready to do the whole thing all over again. And one very exciting positive that has come out of this is that we are keeping Tom in a job. Cue the montage and then you... So obviously really exciting times despite the stresses that we're having with Caernarfon development starting. It feels like we're back to the beginning on this series, so I'm really excited to take you through. I'm sure there'll be many more lessons that we learn with this site that we didn't with the others, and overall I'm just feeling really excited and I can't wait to see what we do, to see you. I can't wait to see you. And I can't wait to show you what we do with the place. So be sure to keep watching to follow the journey, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and go to Cardiff and buy some cake. Thank you.